My name is Andrew Ojok, the son to the fallen speaker. I'm 32 years old, happily married with 2 children. I did my primary school from Uganda Primary School, from P2 to P7, where I became a prefect, then eventually the head prefect of the school. Despite starting from a primary school that was in the village, my P1 was in Omoro, where we would trek about 5 kilometers on foot to study. That was in P1. Then I managed to go to Gulu for P2 just one time before I came to Kampala. Despite that background, I was able to get aggregate 4 in the PLE. So because of that, I was able to join St. Mary's College Kisumu, where I was there from S1 to S6. When I finished that, I was able to get a scholarship to Algeria, where I studied computer science and mathematics. The mode of instruction then was French. So I, along the way, picked up German and French. So I speak both German and French, in addition to English and the local languages.
How long were you in Nigeria?
I was in Algeria from 2010 to 2015, early 2015, so about 5 years, close to 5 years I was in Algeria.
Okay.
So when I got back from Algeria...
What did you achieve in Algeria?
In Algeria, I was a student, but also, in addition to being a student, I was a student leader.
Yeah, but I mean, what did you went for a bachelor's diploma or what?
No, it was a bachelor's degree in computer science and mathematics. It's what I had mentioned before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That was in Algeria. So when you returned?
So when I returned, I was able to get a job with the National IT Authority, NITA-EU. I've been there since 2015. So close to 7 years working with NITA Uganda. At NITA Uganda, I held various responsibilities, but core among them was being the relationship manager between the government of Uganda and international corporations like Microsoft and Oracle. So I was a link between government and some multinational technology companies. I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in ICT management, policy and architectural design at Uganda Matters University. Graduation should be around November this year. So in a nutshell, that is me. I'm simple, so to speak. I prefer to keep a low profile. I think that could explain why people know about me. What I picked most from my fallen father is the issue of modesty. That you shouldn't be done to blow your trumpet. Let the world look into your life. Let the world examine you, and let them be the judge of whether you're good or bad. I should be done saying maybe I'm eloquent. So it's the world to see and say this person is. But you also know who you are internally. I know who I am. I don't have to tell the world that I'm this. It's the world to deduce that from my actions, from how I carry myself. So that is how I prefer to live my life. I don't think the world knows me yet. And I think it's a daily revelation of who I am or who I could be. The challenge that most headlines were having was that I want to replace my father. I cannot replace my father. So your question that to replace the MP is very suitable. Because here we look at what he achieved at the constituency level. But if you look at replacing him as my father, it's not possible. Because as one of the artists composed a song and said that in him were 10 men. So he's not a man you can easily replace. Not just semantically, but also you can't replace such a person. Because he left huge shoes to be filled. But at the constituency level, I'll be working with a team that knew what he was trying to achieve. What I bring on board are the virtues that he taught. So many of the people that he mentored. One of them is servanthood, the servant mentality. That you are an MP because you are sent by voters. So you're not an MP just for the title that you're honorable, so and so, but it's to serve the people. To make sure the person who is at least privileged is able to realize the potential to achieve that dream. Today is 21st. On 20th, a month ago, the president announced that our father had passed on. So we're still in the mourning period. It's actually a month now since he passed on. So we're still mourning. And I mentioned earlier that this is my way of mourning. That instead of shedding tears, I'm actually able to carry on some of the work that he left unaccomplished. I feel in my heart that it's a noble way of mourning. So I'm able to carry on some of the things that in a way give hope. For example, the students that he was sponsoring. If, when given the chance, we're able to carry on with the same sort of spirit, making sure some of those projects are carried on. So it's a ray of hope, really, that we can carry what he has left behind. Regarding the projects, for now, we are trying to finish what he started. Along the way, we are going to have a few other initiatives, programs that will, of course, bring more impact in terms of wealth creation and align to the ideology of the party. But also we need to look at the aspirations of Omoro people. So the discussions we're having with the people is around what they want Omoro to be. Omoro is new. Omoro district is relatively new. It was created in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So it's relatively new. And the aspirations of the people are still shaping. So what we want is still dynamic, and we can shape it to what we really want as a people. You have to appreciate these are strange circumstances, and it would be inappropriate of me to say I'm the best candidate, because the situations are unusual. We're in the mourning period. Even my standing alone itself is a problem, because it looks like I was waiting for someone else to pass for me to it looks very opportunistic. So I cannot say I'm the best candidate. What we're showing here is the solidarity, that yes, he wanted to do this, and it's a spirit in which the president also spoke, that these are not usual times. He passed on during his term. It is not in my interest to say I'm the best candidate. Even the ones who stepped down are showing solidarity with the family. They're showing solidarity with the party. That in such a circumstance, let's support this candidate to make sure the aspirations of the father are met. It's really out of solidarity. So I want to thank them at this point for stepping down. I mentioned earlier that he left a team. It won't be about Andrew Ojok. It will be about keeping the legacy of Ojok Oulanya alive. So it's not about me. So we'll have a team of different experts. We have the local leadership. We have the LC5 chairman. We have the district council. We have so many experts in Omoro. Then we also have guidance from the party and different leaders at different levels. So I won't be working as a team to make sure it's not just the flag. It's basically trying to make sure that the mission is achieved. Yes, the flag will also be raised, but we need to achieve what we had set out to do in this term. We can't rule out the role of parties in this, because if you look at NRM has a huge following, but also the people have a say in what they want. The people have a say in what they want to achieve. So if they feel that the party that they're in cannot achieve that mission, because you might have, even in Omoro, those different parties in the constituency, but they could still choose to vote for NRM. So they're not allied to they're allied to that party, but they have a mission. They have a reason for voting. So they could choose to vote for an NRM candidate like myself, because of the sentiments, because of what we want to achieve as a constituency. So the party has a role to play, but the individuals have their own aspirations that they want to achieve through the ballot. So you have the Dano Padano Foundation, that is a wealth creation vehicle. It's an empowerment vehicle. So you have different circles within the sub-counties, and you have a sort of rotational revolving fund where people are able to borrow and sustain their livelihoods, start projects. You have borders who have stages, and they also have those saving schemes where they can benefit. In terms of infrastructure, you have we're setting up a radio station. Also setting up a TV station for Moro as a constituency. Under health, he was pursuing the upgrade of the health center to become a district hospital for Moro. So there are things that are already being done by government, but was sort of following up to be done. But also in our meeting with the president, we shared a memorandum that listed out some issues that need to be addressed. Because if you look, when he passed on, the district council passed a motion where you had people from Lao, you had people from Acholi and West Nile. they had the council where they sat and paid tribute to to our fallen father, and in it were different items that were passed. About 17 items were discussed in terms of how they could carry on with this legacy. So from that documentation, I want to thank the chairman. That's the five. It was a very elaborate motion, and I could interest you in that if you could look at that motion. It has so much detail about what he was trying to achieve in this term. I think the salient issue here is wealth creation, really. And wealth creation, the government has had so many interventions to make sure people are empowered. If you look at NADS, for example, if you look at NUSAF, you look at all those funds, all those projects, all those programs that have been set up to make sure people are able to sustain their livelihoods. But if you look at the Chole sub-region, the poverty rate is still very high. So I think it's about 6-8%. If you look at, I think Chole sub-region is the poorest so far. You can cross-check the statistics. Now, based on that, I think we need to examine further why all these interventions that have been put in place are still not impacting the pocket. My theory is that we need to have a mindset change. The president hinted on it when he hosted us at Rakitura. He said we glorify poverty. You have a person like whose name is Afoyo Chan, which literally means I thank you for the poverty. I thank you for poverty. Jajan, like things that glorify poverty. Now you'll appreciate that the Chole have a unique way of remembering historical events. Because maybe we could not document history, we would give you a name that reminds us of the situation. How I would sing a song that reminds me of what was happening at that time. So I would give you a name to remind you of what I was going through. You would have a name like Hidega, meaning they hate me. Komakech, I'm unlucky. So you have names that have negative connotation. So my theory is that we need a mindset change, that we can look at poverty differently. So you need to diagnose what the actual issue is. We need to go back to the drawing board and diagnose what the issue is, because we could be treating symptoms. That there's no water here, so I create a borehole. But the issue is, maybe I don't know how to go and why I need that clean water. Or I put up a hospital and people don't go there. They're using herbs that are not. They don't want to test for illnesses. So we need to have, I think, a deeper analysis of what the issue could be. We're treating symptoms, in my opinion. I've come towards the tail end of the term, and from what I've picked from the parish development model is that they'll be giving 100 million to every parish. Omoro County has 37 parishes, so that is about 3.7 billion shillings for Omoro per year. 37 parishes. So that if you were to give 100 million per parish, is about 3.7 billion. Still, and I'm choosing my words carefully, still, if we just give money to people who don't appreciate why you give them the money, or if we start a project and they don't appreciate why they create their project, or how to sustain that project, or the big picture, long-term projections about 5 years, where will that project be? That money we might not address the issue. So I'm choosing my words carefully because it's a government project. So we need to support it, but we need to also deal with the mentality, the mental models. For a person who believes in hand to mouth, that money will solve a problem for one day. But we need to teach them to see how to sustain those projects. It's a really mindset issue. Because we can push all that money there, but there'll still be no tangible benefit unless the mind changes.
So it is better to sensitize them on how to be productive?
I think those can be done simultaneously. It's all how you deliver that money. We could first train them, build capacity, and then give them. So as I mentioned, I'm just entering the race. So from what I've gathered so far, that's what I can respond to it. My name is Andrew Ojok Oulanya. I'm the son to the fallen Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Ojok Oulanya. And I'm contesting for the position of Member of Parliament for Omoro constituency. I want to thank the people of Omoro for supporting my father during his time while he was alive. He was able to achieve so much and to rise through the ranks in this government because of that foundation that they gave, that firm foundation they gave him. I want to thank the NRM party as well for entrusting me, taking a gamble on me. I want to thank you very much. And also I want to thank the candidates who stepped down in solidarity with the family and with the party. It takes courage, it takes honor, it takes nobleness for you to be able to sacrifice your ambitions for the others. I also want to thank my family for entrusting me to represent them. I count on the support that the people of Moro will provide, and also we look forward to working together in this time of transforming the lives of our people. Together we can achieve a lot. Thank you very much.